What's up, guys? Thank you for your interest in the 30-day Knuckleball program. My name is Joe Zeller. I threw the Knuckleball in the Chicago Cubs organization, and before that, I was drafted throwing up to 96 miles an hour. So I've done both sides of baseball. Being a power pitcher, I learned curveball, slider, splitter, changeup, everything else, and then I converted to the Knuckleball, and that helped me stay around a lot longer. So really, I feel like I'm one of, if not the only pitcher in the world that's really able to teach this, and that I have an academy where I can teach it. Because really what you've seen and what I learned when I was younger was if you're either a regular pitcher or you're a knuckleball pitcher, and that really limits people, because people that are throwing hard, they don't want to be like, okay, I'm going to limit my velocity, I'm not going to work on that, I'm not going to develop, I'm just going to float a knuckleball in. Then it has to be perfect, you're a little bit wild, you get in bad counts, and it's really, really tough. The new way of thinking, and if you look at more and more people are starting to do this in the minor leagues, the new way of thinking is because of Matt Waldron, and he's throwing it as a secondary pitch, a third pitch, and then sometimes it's a primary pitch when it's really working. And sometimes he's been throwing as much as 55%, but he started just learning it a couple years ago, throwing it 20%, 30%, and kind of now more and more. So what we're doing in this program is integrating the knuckleball into your arsenal gradually. And so it's a secondary pitch, it's like a changeup, and then as it gets better over time, it can become an out pitch and maybe even a primary pitch one day, but that's not necessary at all. The knuckleball can be like 5 different pitches. It can move arm side like a screwball, it can move like a slider, it can even rise, it can just drop straight down like a curveball, it moves like a splitter. So it's really the most effective secondary pitch. It's the only pitch, if you think about it, where you've seen guys that aren't even pitchers, don't even have good arms, they're first basemen like Tim Wakefield throwing in the 70s. They learn the knuckleball and then they can pitch and win 200 games. There's been guys that have won 300 games with the knuckleball. So it's the only pitch like that where you can pitch forever, no arm injuries, and you don't even have to throw hard. So why wouldn't we want to add this to our arsenal? And when you think about it, it doesn't make sense that this hasn't been taught, but now, thanks to Matt Waldron, people are seeing this. I wish I knew this when I was playing, because I threw up to 96. I certainly would have been doing this. I would have been a guy throwing maybe my fastball 50%, my knuckleball 30, 40%, sliders, curveballs, maybe whatever it was, whatever was working, mixing everything in. Instead, I tried to be a guy throwing 70% knuckles, floating it in, not working on everything to the same extent. And so this is a totally revolutionary way of thinking about it that, again, led by Matt Waldron, other people you're seeing in the minor leagues. There's a bunch of new guys learning it, just like Waldron did. It took him from an average minor league pitcher to now being a really good starter in the major leagues. So it's something that's just starting, and we want you guys to be on the vanguard of this, joining the program, developing your knuckleball as we develop everything else. Because in our program, it's a full pitching academy. We have throwing routines, we talk about mechanics, we do mechanical analysis, we talk about all of your other pitches. In our Zoom calls, we review different things. We talk about it all, weightlifting routines, how to throw harder, but a big focus is the knuckleball. And so it's a unique academy that there's nothing else like this in the entire world. And so we're super excited about it. So if you are interested in totally changing your career, not going to something where you're going to blow your arm out, you're going to add a couple of miles an hour. If you are interested in totally changing your career, becoming a better pitcher, but adding a pitch that will take you from a guy that could maybe play, for example, D3 to a top D1 guy, a guy that could maybe make D1 to a top draft pick, a guy that's maybe getting drafted to a top major leaguer. That level of change, if you're looking for that level of change, then this academy can be for you. We've got full-time knuckleballers in here. We've got guys that are trying to add it. We've got guys that barely even throw a knuckleball. They've never thrown it before. They just want to develop and have focus, not just on velocity. Like we said, we want you guys to throw harder, but it's not just velocity, not blowing out our arms. It's learning how to pitch. And what we've seen is this online approach is way better because it's every single day. It gives kids accountability. It's not just seeing a guy once a week and then not knowing what you're doing. It's every day. It's accountability. It's putting your wins in the community, everyone cheering for each other and learning something that there's no place else in the entire world to learn. So I really believe this is the absolute best pitching academy and best possible experience and opportunity for you guys in the entire world. I've even had pro teams reaching out to me, so we're super pumped. So DM me, let me know if you're interested, and let's get you started right away.